Hey, this is Kim Reads Urantia. So good to see you. Okay, all right, we're going to read from the Urantia book. First, we're going to read from The Flame by Andrew Harvey. I can't decide if I like this hair. I don't know if I like it. Because it seems like it's not quite long enough to go behind my ears. I mean, it is barely long enough, but then it doesn't stay there, you know. No, I don't like hair that's in my way. I don't like anything in my way, but that's... All right, today's September 27th. This is Thomas A. Kempis. Thomas A. Kempis. Who is that? Thomas A. Kempis. Okay, so he was a German-Dutch canon regular of the late medieval period and author of The Imitation of Christ. Imitation of Christ. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, so, all right. All these, there's so many Christian people. This guy lived from 1380 to 1471. Thomas A. Kempis. Let me look at this Imitation of Christ quick. Emphasizes the interior life and withdrawal from the mundanities of the world, as opposed to the active imitation of Christ practiced by other friars. Okay, so it seems like in the medieval times here in this age, there's conflict about should we withdraw from the material world, or should we actively engage in it to try to make it better? Okay, well that's still an ongoing debate, and I think it's a balance between those things. I don't think that I think you have to do both of those things in turn, in cycles. Okay, yeah. All right, here we go. Thomas A. Kempis. Encage me in love, so I may learn within the interior palate of my heart to taste how sweet it is, to live and bathe and be dissolved in love, going beyond myself in ecstasy. Let me sing the hymn of love. Let my soul be lost in your praise, jubilant in love. I think it's really beautiful how they're talking so much about love, but this first line kind of rubs me in a funny way. Encage me in love. To me, that's like an oxymoron, because love can't ever be a cage. If you're making a cage of love, then it's not love. Okay, encage me in love. Okay, so I see, okay, love on all sides of me. Make love on all sides of me so I don't see anything but love. Okay, sure. But cage is restrictive. Okay, be dissolved in love. Yes, I feel that. But that's passive, I feel like. And I think that love is also active. Again, it's this balance between being receiving and active, being passive and live and bathe and be dissolved in love. So remember, Kempis was advocating withdrawal from the mundanities of the world. Let my soul be lost in your paradise. Well, and found also. Be lost in your praise, jubilant in love. So it's both. That's what I really feel. So if you're advocating one or the other, it's always within a limited context. So there might be, yeah, one framework that needs more of the receptive kind of dissolving in love, and there might be another framework, another place and time that calls for more of an active expression of love. But I think those are different times. Okay, so I think that was very good. That was valuable. It was valuable. Thank you, Thomas A. Kempis, via Andrew Harvey. Okay. We're going to read the Urantia book. This is paper 20, The Paradise Sons of God, and we're on section 2, the Magisterial Sons. Every time an original and absolute concept of being formulated by the Eternal Son unites with a new and divine ideal of loving service conceived by the Infinite Spirit, a new and original Son of God, a paradise, Magisterial Son is produced. Wow. Okay, so this is how these are created by the Eternal Son has a thought, an absolute original and absolute concept of being. He has a concept of being, an original, an absolute concept of being, and that's merged with a new and divine ideal of loving service, a new ideal. So it's like an idea and an ideal. Okay. So these sons, the Magisterial Sons, constitute the order of avonals in contradistinction. Oh goodness, sorry, I gotta take it. Yes. Hello, my dear. 12 noon, yeah. All right. Calvin's not coming. Okay, we'll see you then. Thanks. Calvin won't come, but there might be a new person coming. Yeah. All right, bye. All right, thanks. Sorry. Okay, so these sons constitute the order of avonals in contradistinction to the order of Michael, the creator sons. Though not creators in the personal sense, they are closely associated with the Michaels in all their work. The avonals are planetary ministers and judges, the magistrates of the time-space realms, of all races, to all worlds, and in all universes. So these are judges, ministers and judges. They're magistrates. So they're low orders judges. So the higher order of judges, like the Ancients of Days, those guys I think are high order judges. These guys are more like sorters and classifiers. I think the Ancients of Days and all of that, that's a very high order. And the universal censors actually prune the reality tree. Yeah. Okay. We have reasons for believing that the total number of magisterial sons in the grand universe is about 1 billion. Okay, so we have reasons to believe this. They are a self-governing order being directed by their Supreme Council on Paradise, which is made up of experienced Avonals drawn from the services of all universes. But when assigned to and commissioned in a local universe, they serve under the direction of the Creator Son of that domain. Avonals are the Paradise Sons of service and bestowal to the individual planets of the local universes. And since each Avonal son has an exclusive personality, since no two are alike, their work is individually unique in the realms of their sojourn, where they're often incarnated in the likeness of mortal flesh and sometimes are born of earthly mothers on the evolutionary world. So, like Jesus, these magisterial sons can be born of flesh of a mortal woman. These are like we're really very special in order to have incarnated on our world our Creator Son. So, but most worlds don't have the incarnation of a Creator Son, of a Michael Son. Most of them will have the incarnation of an Avonal Son to help them minister to their worlds. It's just because we're so special over here on Urantia. We get the Michael Son here. In addition to their services on the higher administrative levels, the Avonals have a threefold function on the inhabited worlds. 1, judicial actions. They act at the close of the planetary dispensations. In time, scores, hundreds of such missions may be executed on each individual world, and they may go to the same or to other worlds, times without number, as dispensation terminators, liberators of the sleeping survivors. Scores or hundreds of such missions may be executed on each individual world, and they may go to the same or to other worlds, times without number, as dispensation terminators. Okay, so these guys, so there's the sleeping survivors, and those are the individuals who aren't totally, haven't become like awakened to their status as children of God and about what that means. But they come at that age to wake everybody up and to bring home the one. So it's like, here, they'll come and say, okay, it's time to make your choice now. Time's up here. So what are you going to do? So then they'll make sure that everybody gets that choice. And we'll make that choice between ascending or choosing not to ascend. So I think yeah, and I don't know if they really, yeah, but I think it has to be our choice. I know that you can't make a choice when you're sleeping, really. But I think maybe some of them like wake up enough, it's like, oh yeah, I choose to ascend, and then they go back to sleep. Maybe. Because sometimes, sleep, yeah, okay, all right. I'm gonna just keep reading. 2, magisterial missions. A planetary visitation of this type usually occurs prior to the arrival of the bestowal son. Okay. On such a mission, an Avonal appears as an adult of the realm by a technique of incarnation not involving mortal birth. Okay, so this was kind of like what Melchizedek did. But it was a Melchizedek. But this is usually prior to the arrival of a bestowal son. But I think our planet is different enough again that we got a Melchizedek prior to the Michael son coming instead of right. And what does this mean, a bestowal son? On such a mission, an Avonal appears as an adult. Okay, so you're just fully there here. You don't have a childhood here. Subsequent to this first and usual magisterial visit, Avonals may repeatedly serve in a magisterial capacity on the same planet, both before and after the appearance of the bestowal son. Okay, so it might be the same. Okay, on these additional magisterial missions, an Avonal may or may not appear in material and visible form, but on none of them will he be born into the world as a helpless babe. Okay, so only once they come as the baby. Okay? Only once do they need to come as a baby. I think that testifies to that. Okay, that's kind of a scary thing for God to be born as a baby. They don't like to do it very much. Otherwise, they do it a lot. I think they do it, but I don't think they do it a lot. Okay. Mm-hmm. 3, bestowal missions. The Avonal sons do all, at least once, bestow themselves upon some mortal race, on some evolutionary world. So these are bestowal sons. They do this at least once. All of them do this at least once. Judicial visits are numerous. Magisterial missions may be plural, but on each planet there appears but one bestowal son. Bestowal Avonals are born of woman, as Michael of Nebadon was incarnated on Urantia. Okay. Okay, so magisterial missions, they can appear, okay, before or after a bestowal son. Okay. Kind of getting them kind of ready for the bestowal son. Okay, there's no limit to the number of times the Avonal sons may serve on magisterial and bestowal missions. But when the experience has been 7 times traversed, there is suspension in favor of those who have had less of such service. Okay, so if you've done this 7 times, you need to make room for a new guy to come in and get some experience. But, right. Okay, but they can serve on more than one bestowal mission, but probably just once on a planet. Because it says here, on these additional magisterial missions, an Avonal may or may not appear in magisterial, but on invisible form. But on none of them Oh, only on the bestowal missions is he a helpless babe. But I think each planet just gets one bestowal mission. The Evonal Sons do all at least once bestow themselves as a baby. That's kind of what they do. Right. But that's not all they do. They do the judicial actions, deciding who's ascending, who's in the ascendant camp and who's in the sleeping camp. Right? And magisterial missions. That's kind of like that Melchizedek. But that's a totally different class of being, because Melchizedek is more of an emergency. That's a local universe son of God. These are paradise. This guy's magisterials are from paradise. Melchizedeks are local. Okay. There is no limit. Okay. These sons of multiple bestowal experience are then assigned to the high personal council of a creator son, thus becoming participants in the administration of universe affairs. Okay. In all their work for and on the inhabited worlds, the Magisterial Sons are assisted by two orders of local universe creatures, the Melchizedeks and the Archangels. While on bestowal missions, they are also accompanied by the brilliant evening stars, likewise of origin in the local creations. In every planetary effort, the secondary paradise sons, the Avonals, are supported by the full power and authority of a primary paradise son, the creator son of their local universe of service. To all intents and purposes, their work on the inhabited spheres is just as effective and acceptable as would have been the service of a creator son upon such worlds of mortal habitation. Okay, so this is really like we didn't really need one of these because we had Michael, but this is kind of like the route of most planets will have this magisterial presence on their planets. But because we're so different and special here, so okay. But that's kind of it. That's about the magisterial sons. Yeah. Very interesting. Okay. So these are the Avonals. All right. Well, thank you very much for being with me today, and have a really good one. Bye.